Okay, hello everyone! My name's Sugi Yamagawa, and today on VTubing my slow life hobbies in my 30s, we gather around the lovely fire pit to cook some food. Specifically, we're going to be cooking food in this thing, but we also have to utilize some other... I'm actually utilizing a fair number of pots and pans this time. So yeah. Also, I am testing out my new camera. So far, I like the look of it. I just hope it's resilient enough, because I'm actually using a GoPro camera, and I know these things tend to run hot, so I'm not entirely sure how this will play with that, considering I needed a new camera because I cooked the last one. Granted, that's also because I had that camera... Old camera would be positioned somewhere in here-ish area, a lot closer. As you can see by the field of view, I've tried to move things a lot farther back, so hopefully that should be easy on that. So, I have a fair amount of fire going right now, so I do want to kill a little bit of time before we really get into like doing some cooking. So I'm gonna make some sweet cinnamon spice tea. Get this going, and just to kill a little bit of time, let that fire continue to burn down, because I need a good bit of fire in the beginning for ingredient prep, but I also need it to burn down, so that way I have a good amount of coals for the Dutch oven. So I'm going to don my gloves. I had my cast iron tea kettle on the fire earlier, and I was using that to basically preheat water for this first little part here. Well, for tea. Now, traditionally, I've left it on the fire pit. Now, granted, the issue with that I've had in the past with leaving it on the fire pit has been the fact that the cast iron tea kettle is very heavy. I reckon it's at least a good 20-ish pounds. Like, empty, not including having liquids in it. But yeah. But it doesn't seem like it's super hot, which is nice. I like that. I like that a lot. Okay. I think I'm gonna set my gloves over here. I'm gonna grab a stainless steel skillet, and oh my boy, oh boy, we got ourselves a lot of heat tonight. So I'm gonna just keep trying to mosey my fire more that away. Have lots of heat going here, not so much heat going here. I do have some small coals and some other such here, so that will be more than sufficient to do a little bit of cooking. So, I cannot, darn it, darn you, cast iron, well, Dutch oven manufacturers for not having a flat lid. Okay, so let us get one of the stars of today's show going, because we're gonna get one thing going, and then we're gonna get into the other stuff. All right, yeah, I'm a little bit more limited on spatula than I would like to be, but that's fine. So I'm going to bring this over here. I think this area here is a little bit cooler on the fire pit. So I'm going to crack open my container of ground beef. Woo! Ah! Got a nice sound out of that. And okay. So that's a little bit more than reasonably warm. So always just get a little bit of water. kind of cool it down a little bit. I like to get it to sipping temperature. Hey, there's a dirty. Hey you, buddy. I'm looking at you, fire. Don't be getting your ash in my skillet. I would very much appreciate it if you wouldn't do that. Okay. So that skillet's been sitting there for a little bit of time. Actually, yeah, I can just do that. Okay. So let's throw this meat in. And it's not insta-sizzling, which is great. And then also, I have in my magic Tupperware, I cut these up earlier, onions! Onions! And if you don't know, I am a big fan of the onions. Really big fan of the onions. Great stuff, great stuff, great stuff. So, we got a little bit of a sizzle going there, which is great, which is really good. I don't want to have too much heat going. So, we're gonna bring this guy over. And, ooh. Less than ideal? Better. Okay. Woo! So we're gonna let that water start warming up, but I'm gonna salt it. So that way we can cook our pasta in a little, ever so slightly salty water. Ever so slightly salty water. But yeah, you know what? So far, I actually really like field of view and such. Okay. So we'll throw a lid on that, let it do its thing. Let's break this up. Break this up. Break up our ground beef here. See what we get. So I think we're cooking. Yeah, we're cooking! Yeah! Fish. Ah! I'm glad this is coming in useful, my little heat shield. Man, sometimes I have added another handy dandy brick to my kind of sort of my setup here, just to, because what this piece of plywood with a piece of metal attached to it is sitting on is a couple of bricks. It does seem like I have noticed a few times GoPro has done some stuff, but so we are actually cooking at a fairly decent temperature, maybe a little bit on the chilly side, so that's good. Because what I can do is I can move my handy dandy rebar and I can just position my stuff a little bit closer to the heat of the fire, and I can get a little bit more heat going that way. Because I do have some stuff here also. Let's see here. How can I just lightly manipulate some coals? Actually, let's try this out. Don't do this too often. T, you're precious. You're valuable. You're valuable commodity. Ah, okay. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna pull this back. I've got some coals here. We're gonna bring these coals back just a little bit. Get a little bit more heat going in this neck of our woods. So then, you know what? I think that's good. That's good. So we'll set that back where it went. Then we'll give our ground beef a bit of a stir here. I am gonna have to stir it because I do have a little bit of uneven heat. I definitely have a little bit more heat towards the top of the screen area of my pan. So, but we are cooking nicely. Let's say it seems like about a low heat simmer, but enough of that. Let us achieve true success. And add onions. Onions are the secret to success. There we go. Woo! There. onions back in my magic cold bin of goodies. However, though, you can see a lid. That lid holds something very near and dear to me, because I am a fiend, an absolute monstrous fiend for garlic. Even though I'm using roasted garlic sauce for the like spaghetti sauce. Oh man, I gotta watch this VOD later. Sure, that's gonna take a while to hit boiling. For now, I'll go ahead and give our garlic, our onions, our ground beef. We're gonna give that a nice stir. I think we've got a really good heat going in the skillet right now, so I gotta be patient before I can start my noodles. So I've got a little bit of time before you heat up, which actually too am interested. Now I think I got enough room. Holy. Now, before I give it the final push. Whoa. Actually, wait, it's a circle. Aha! Use the properties of the circle against itself. And we'll return the working surface to its original position. But yeah, I hope you all are having a good day out there. So far, I gotta say, I've been having a pretty good day. Got done early with work, so big cheers to that, getting done early with work. But got that done today, and was able to get home at a good time, and actually, thankfully, have a fair amount of time to prep for the stream. Because boy, oh boy, this took some work. Mostly because of this camera here. Because it's definitely going to be a learning experience working with this GoPro camera. Oh man, I'm getting some not very, very, very nice smells out of my skillet right now. So ground beef is nearly cooked through. I'm just see a little bit of pink left, not a whole lot. I'm going to don a glove of safety. I've thrown that piece. So that was actually a piece of oak. And I specifically used oak because oak makes good coals. I don't have a boil there yet, which I probably should have started that before I got this going. But if the ground beef gets cooked thoroughly, I'm going to go ahead. What I'll probably do is I'll take it, move it to the side. I'll probably set it down here because I think it'll be close enough to stay warm. We'll see. And from there, we'll then get started on noodles, and we'll focus on the noodles fairly exclusively at this point. So, because we've got this, which I'm actually going to be eventually adding spaghetti sauce to. And then I am also going to have to work on my noodles. So, yeah. So I'm going to be using penne noodles. I got these from the Kroger because you know it's Kroger because it's private selection. But yeah, I've worked with this specific brand of pasta before. I used it for the mac and cheese. The time I cooked mac and cheese in this thing, which unfortunately was kind of a massive failure. because I overheated it, and I'm not gonna make that mistake. I'd rather do a nice slow cook versus overcook and get results I don't want. So yeah, I mean, we're looking really good. I do see a couple bits of pink in my ground beef here. So that just has to continue to do its thing. I'm going to continue to watch my pot that will probably never boil, but who knows. It'll boil eventually. Top of the lid's getting steamy. I've got some oak going underneath of it. It will get up to boil reasonably quickly. And now, I sit back, I relax, enjoy the ambience of my suburban homestead, and yeah. It's a good day to be alive. It's a really good day to be alive. I'm also really happy with temperature starting to come down, because that's really helped with doing these streams, because this is not fun to do when it's like 80 degrees out. Right now I think it's like 72 Fahrenheit. But yeah, if you must know, I live in Freedomlandia, and we use freedom units. Even though I do have a reasonably healthy respect for the metric system. So this is looking really, really, really good. I'm going to just take it. We're going to just leave it off to the side for now, because I don't really want it. Don't want it to cook too much. Too much is no good. And instead we wait for pot to boil. Which is fine. We got time. We got all the time and tea in the world. As long as we have tea, we have time. And I am starting to see my fire die down and starting to get some pretty good coals. I'm hoping to get some, so that really big kind of a wedge-shaped piece you kind of see in like the far back, that's also a piece of oak. And it's also thicker than those other two I threw in there. So I'm hoping to get some pretty good coals off that, because the thing is, let's see, do I have a, is there at least, ooh, are you handheld size? You're handheld size, yay. So this is the primary firewood that I have been working with here recently, mostly because, well, I got it for free. And, well, the downside to this is soft maple, probably silver maple, I believe. But the thing is, with this stuff, it burns pretty quick, it burns pretty hot, it doesn't really leave lasting coals, whereas some of my oak pieces are going to get me a lot better coals than this stuff will. And also, GoPro has some stabilization. I might try, because right now I have it on, because originally I set up the GoPro on my articulating mic stand, well, camera stand, just because I wanted to shift focus over, but I didn't realize I was going to have like this wide of a view, like, because I think this is actually really incredible. So like, you can see this, you can see the fire, you can see the food, and we're going to have our little area down here where this is actually where we're going to be doing the Dutch oven action. So I'm going to go ahead, give this a stir, make sure nothing's like getting too cooked. Oh wait, I actually see a little bit of pink in there. Oh, we got a little bit of pink left in there. Okay, okay. So we'll go ahead, that piece chopped up, give it a good stir. So you're not cooked too, still not super cooked thoroughly, but I mean, hey. I mean, the thing is, after we brown this ground beef, we're throwing it in the Dutch oven. Ooh, hey now. Don't be doing that, GoPro. Please behave. So far, reasonably happy with it. But I might have to figure out some sort of cooling technology for it. Ooh. Okay, we got ourselves a boil going. So, with our boil going, I'm going to be adding about half my thing of pasta. Are you taped? You're taped. Whoop. There we go. Oh, interesting. So it was taped over it. So I'm gonna get you opened up. Good, reasonable bit. There we go. Look at that delicious pasta. My gosh, that looks like some delicious pasta. So, and we're gonna do about half. Oh wow, cooking time, 15 minutes. Was not expecting that kind of cooking time. Okay, so that's about, because it was originally here, that was about half the package. So we're done with that. So off to the side, there's a lot of, there's a lot of logistics to this. Nope. Stay. So I always try to, if I'm done with an ingredient, done with any sort of dishware, granted I'll probably actually save this pasta water, just because I can reboil it, and then I can use it as my cleanup water. That's the game plan for that. So give this a stir. See that little pink bit right there? But yeah, we're definitely not looking overcooked there. That's good. Actually, wait. I'm thinking about it. I should do it. I'm going to set a timer. So, and timer. I don't want a 5-minute. Give me. There we go. Okay, so I've got a 13-minute timer. It said 15 minutes, so I'm just gonna set the timer, leave it alone, let it do its thing. Should be pretty good. And at this point, hey, and after we get that done, we get to worry about the oven, which is exciting because, well, it's this thing. And it's calling for preheating the oven, and I don't think I'm gonna be doing a lot of preheating. I might place the Dutch oven on the fire for a little bit, just to let it warm up. But yeah, just get it a little bit warmer, a little bit better. See what we get. Not entirely sure what I'll get, but I'm not too worried about it. Hey, so you hope things are going well. The cook's looking good so far. Oh, thank you, and welcome in. Let's see. Mangaga 2168. But yeah, so far, so far based off preview, I like it. I gotta say, for a test so far so good. It's just one of the weaknesses of GoPro technology is that it does tend to overheat. And this is a situation where overheating of electronic components, of standard electronic components, has occurred before. So, kind of gonna be, this is the stress test for it. But yeah, like I say, it's been going good. Been drinking some good tea. Oh yeah, I bet the heat in the camp. I can totally get that. Yeah, it's actually one of the purposes of, yeah, we're definitely really getting into some nice proper fall times, and honestly this fire is going to feel amazing once we actually like transition to like the more winter months. I mean, right now I'm kind of warm, but I mean it's like 72, 71, whatever, which it really isn't that bad. It's not bad as far as like air temperatures go. Now being exposed to fire plus these air temperatures, a little bit more intense, so, but it's fun. Let's see here. let's get. Came back from Arizona last week, and that was a punishing. Oh, 106. No, 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 not 106. That's too much. Way too much. Granted, the issue where I live in Kentucky is humidity. So like for us, really high temperatures is like upper 90s, but it will also be like 90 degrees at 90% humidity. And it like sweat doesn't work at those temperatures. Well, those humidities, and you really feel the heat when your sweat doesn't work. Which I think Arizona has definitely a more dry heat to it. But yeah, that's actually a pretty reasonable keep warm spot. Not seeing any burning or browning, any significant of that, which is good. So, So for one of my next things, well, eventuals, down the roads. But yeah, got some roasted garlic pasta sauce that I'll be using. Oh yeah, high humidity is brutal. I remember being in Vietnam as a kid. You step outside and you feel like you walked. Yes, the walked into the shower is like the worst. Well, actually, it's like you walk outside, and in a minute it feels like you just took a shower, and it's like, no, I don't like this. This is terrible. This is terrible. Why do humans live in these conditions? Actually, wait a second. I'm going to lose my pasta water. Exactly. I mean, granted, I kind of get why Vietnam is where it is. I mean, like, hey, river deltas are great places for growing food. Like, Egypt, great places for growing food. Yangtze River Valley, great place for growing food. Mesopotamia, great place for growing food. Problem is when you live near a river, you have to deal with all of its humidity. And that is certainly a less pleasant experience. But yeah. Let's see. Heat's not too bad there. We got a nice boil there. All good things. All good things. Granted, I can actually... Ooh, wow, that's actually nice crumbly coals right there. Gonna get that a little bit more spread out. Get a little bit more heat going under this, because we're definitely getting a boil, but it's not like roaring, so it's fine. So, yeah, we're just in a holding pattern for now, because we gotta get our pasta cooked. But once the pasta's cooked, then we'll be able to start playing with the Dutch oven, because there are some like prep steps I will have to do for the Dutch oven, but like I'm gonna probably hit it with some olive oil, give it a nice light olive oil. Well, like put some olive oil in it, grab a clean paper towel, just do some oiling for it. But yeah, for now we wait for pasta to cook, which according to my timer. Oh wow, we only got like... Yeah, we're halfway through. I kind of wish I remembered I was going to be working with pasta and brought a slotted spoon. Actually, wait a second. Let me recheck my recipe. Wait. On the dish, sprinkle a layer of provolone cheese, and then half the sauce. Okay, so the sauce is going to be separate, and then so my sauce and pasta are going to be separate. Which sauce is going to be what we do here. I've got to still add that to it, which, depending on timing and such, we'll see how that goes. Whew! Can I hold that? I can hold that. Oh. But yeah. There's ground beef with onions. which for now, replace, sit. Let's go ahead and get our meat sauce going. Woo! Oh, ground beef with onions, my goat. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Ground beef with onions. Always the best way. I've been making so much pasta lately. The thing is I actually used to make a lot of pasta, but I kind of actually got away from making pasta simply because, well, I would like to drop some pounds, and it's a little bit hard to drop pounds if you eat pasta too often. I've been eating lots of salads, which I actually had like a little bit of just like a little bit of leftover greens, which I actually made a light salad. Yeah, super carb heavy, but delicious though, amazingly delicious though. So I've got a little bit of pasta left. I'm gonna hit it just a little bit of water, because I don't need a lot of water to do what I need to do here. Grab my lid, give it a good shake. And affordable too. Yeah, see, that's the thing with like Italian food. It is like wretchedly affordable. Like wretchedly affordable. It's like, how dare your style of food be so affordable? But yeah, a little bit of water and some shaking, and you can actually get a pretty good clean glass jar, which is also good for recycling it. So, got that. So my next goal is to, well, actually, that's why you exist. We're just gonna go ahead and get this mixed up. And like that little bit of water, that's honestly gonna get cooked off, because we still gotta like cook this. So, get a nice thorough mix, kind of let those flavors meld. Well, get everything like real thoroughly mixed. There we go. Wonderful. Oh, hi Lillian, how are you? I hope you're doing well. Spoon can live in bowl. And then you know what? Let's see. Actually, that's cooled down quite a bit, so we'll just set it over there. Let it heat up a little bit. Woo. Ah. Sweet, sweet, wonderful tea. Woo. Okay, actually, wait. How much longer do I have for the noodles? I have like a minute. I am good. I'm doing good. How are you? I am doing pretty great. Today was a good day. I got done with work early, which gave me time to prep and set up for all this fun stuff, which I certainly did need all that time and to prep for all this. Because, wowzers, this was a little bit of work. Granted, it was also like remembering last minute things, like, because I reviewed the recipe like 10 minutes before stream, just to like double check and made sure I had everything, and then at the very end, very bottom of the recipe, it's like, use salt and pepper to taste, and I'm like, like they didn't mention salt and pepper on the ingredients list. Granted, I did bring some salt down because I knew I was going to use some salt for my pasta water, but I didn't have pepper, so I had to run and grab some pepper right quick. And also, I think I'm going to be doing a little bit of playing down there once we get these noodles done, which, speaking of being done, I'm about done with this tea. I'm going to kill this tea. And, ooh, score. threw the tea bag into one of my raised containers that I'm growing lettuce in. Yeah, that one's got lettuce in it. Other two, I have tomatoes. Well, oh, oh, that's my timer. Stop. Okay, cool. Timer says I'm done, but I'm gonna grab one of my. I'm gonna grab a piece of pasta here, and we'll see what we get. And if I can grab a piece of pasta. Oh, I got two. Whew. Okay. A little bit chewy. Okay. That's got a little bit of chewiness to it. Maybe not quite the level of softness I would want. So I'd say I'm gonna give it like 3 more minutes and call it done. But otherwise, not bad. Not bad. Now time. Ooh. Yeah, I'm not doing that. I shouldn't be doing that barehanded. I shouldn't be lifting the cast iron tea kettle barehanded. It's very bad because it's hot. Which, I think at this point it's been off the fire for, it's been 50 minutes. But it holds heat really well. Which is nice because it's like, you heat it up once, and you've got hot water for a while. Especially for tea. Granted, I'm just doing 2 things of tea. Oh, there we go. Okay. Seeing a little bit of very slight amounts of boiling out of my meat sauce I got going here. So I'm just going to give it a quick little stir. Help distribute that heat a little bit better. Okay, let's see here. Let's try this tea out. Yeah, that needs to steep longer. Temperature's great. Needs to steep though. Okay. So we only have a little bit longer left to go on the pasta. And then once the pasta's done, I get to play strained pasta. Which actually isn't a terrible thing to do, but the only thing I gotta think about is, like, where am I sending all this water? Which, let me get my handy dandy strainer going, because I do have, like, container. That is how I'm gonna have to do it. We're just gonna have to improvise. It's just what you gotta do when you're on the homestead. You gotta improvise. And that's what I'm going to be doing. So let's grab this, set this to the side, because we definitely have got some fun to go. Okay. So step 1, get a glove on. So, bit of a fun fact about where I'm sitting. Where I'm sitting is tilted slightly, in that direction. I might live to regret my decisions, but the things I do for pasta. Ooh, you know what? Let's get. Man, I should have grabbed a second container. Oh well. Let's see here. Can I? How can I? Nope. I can't grab the thing with these gloves. I need to grab my really good gloves. For what I gotta do, because I gotta hold this container in a very particular way. Drain out my pasta water. Ah. Okay, that's most of it. Let's see if we can't. There we go. Splashing on me a little bit, but okay. I'd say that's reasonable. we got our pasta. Okay, so now we get to do exciting stuff. You come off because you're sufficiently preheated, and I now am going to bemoan my lack of prep area. Oh, because I am deeply lacking in prep area. But I am now done, and I probably shouldn't have done that. Instead, do that, and we're going to slowly mosey the grate to essentially what is the outer wilds of the fire pit. So, grate's on the outer wilds of the fire pit. And we got some coals here, hopefully. Very hot coals. I'm actually gonna pile some stuff here because I do want to think about keeping the fire going. So I'm gonna add that to keep the fire going. And speaking of keeping fires going, can I set my meat sauce there? Thank you. Okay. Hello, star of today's show. Hello, hello. Wow, that lid is... Every time I lift it, I get reminded of how absurdly heavy it is. Okay. So I've got myself a nice little clean paper towel to get a little bit of sawdust in there. So with my clean paper towel, grab myself some good old Kirtland brand organic extra virgin olive oil. We believe in Costco maxing around here. Or at least I do. And then with that, we're just gonna spread oil all over the sides. And this is gonna help make a reasonably nice non-stick surface. And then with that, this paper towel is donezo, and it is going to light. Woo! Okay, now I've got my oven. It's pseudo prepped, but I now have to. Okay, so half the noodles on the bottom of the dish. It's easy. It's really easy, I think. So we're gonna do that. Okay. So let me grab my noodles. So we're gonna do half of these on the bottom. Ooh. And still a little bit warm. Manageable, but warm. Okay. Let's see here. I think we can get a nice little bit of a layer going. Yeah. There we go. So we got ourselves a nice layer of noodles at the bottom of the Dutch oven. So it's step one. Step two. Ah! I keep burying my heart's desires. And by my heart's desires, I am obviously referring to provolone cheese. So, let me get Oh yeah, I forgot this actually has like wax paper. So I'm just gonna start layering provolone cheese slices. Some of them are tearing, which is fine. It just means I can get my edges a little bit better. Yeah. Come on, play nice. There we go. I mean, that's... Whoa! Hey now, burn. So the paper doesn't want to play nice and burning for me, so I have to throw it off to the side. So for the scale of recipe ingredients I am using, recipe calls for 6 slices of provolone, which I think 6 slices will actually get me decent coverage on the bottom of this cast iron Dutch oven. Let's see here. I definitely have some gap. So that's my 6. But you know what? I have cheese. Like, I have extra cheese. And I am a man who loves cheese. So we'll do 7 slices of the provolone. So that's step 2 first. Provolone cheese is going to go back into my cool bin, and then I reference recipe. Okay, sour cream, and then half a sauce on top. Okay, so next up is sour cream, which is also in my bin of goodies. So let me grab sour cream. And I do have a knife, which is good. So I want to be a little bit strategic about how I spread this out, so that way I get a nice even layer. You know what? I have a container. It's good for holding sour cream. Lid. So, and then what I'm going to do for the sour cream, I'm literally just going to do like splotches. I want to kind of, you know, have it a little bit evened out in the casserole. I don't want to have like I don't want to end up with any large globs of it in any one place. So I'm going to try and get it spread out. And then I think after this we'll do half the meat sauce. So. But yeah, sorry that I'm kind of being a little bit more on the quiet side now that I'm like deep in the prep. But this is the foundation you gotta lay for good food to come. And there's gonna definitely be some good food tonight. I'm optimistic. I think I might end up with a little bit too much food for little old me, but that's just how. Okay. Oh, we lost a little. We lost a little bit of sour cream there. Okay. I'm gonna do one last scrape-a-doodle through. Do that. Okay. I'm getting way too much sour cream on stuff. Even got it on the lid. Well, the edge. Okay. Well, that can be cleaned up. That's easy cleanup. Oh wait, hey, I got a rag right here. Sweet. Great. Clean those hands up a bit. Okay. Oh wait, yeah. Also, got a little bit of sour cream on my handle. Clean that up. Okay. Sour cream cleaned up. Next up, let's grab our meat sauce. So for this step, I just want to add half of the meat sauce. So I'm just gonna scoop it in there. I'm gonna do kind of a I'm going to try to be as even as I can with the layering. Not sure if I'll be successful, but hey, I'll try. I'll try my best. And then we'll just use the back of the spoon and just work it, create a nice even layer. Okay, you chill there, and now I get to review recipe. So, sprinkle half sauce on top, add the rest of the zucchini, then it's shredded mozzarella. Okay, so more pasta, then I'll do some mozzarella, and then I'll finish with the sauce. Okay. Okay. Sweet. So, wait. Sorry, I am a guy who's very... Order of operations is... Okay. Pasta. Then we add the rest of the... Cool. So, we'll do pasta. Get that in there. Pasta's in. I'm done with that container. Yay! I'm done with that. Okay. You will not be surprised how excited. Okay, so I'm just going to use my fork here. Well, not fork, butter knife. Kind of spread my noodles out. And with that, reach into my magic cooler. Retrieve some Kirtland brand mozzarella cheese. We'll just give it a nice sprinkle of cheese if it's... Now, technically speaking, I could be measuring this out, but the problem is I like cheese. I like cheese, and I like cheese a lot, so I'm gonna be very generous with my cheese. But I think that's pretty good. That looks really good. Looks like something I would eat. Okay, now from here we'll add the remainder of our sauce that I Nope. I hurt myself on the availability of alternative utensils here, so I have to make do with what I have, and my spoon here was habitually falling into my the meat sauce, and it was just like, no, don't do that, please don't. I'd appreciate it if you didn't do that. Okay, then we go here, we hit it with that. Okay, so just give this a nice good scraping. Get all that sweet, sweet, wonderful goodness. And and I think I can stop being obsessive about that. Okay. Now that I can stop being obsessive about that, we'll give this a nice evening. Looks amazing. I'm gonna taste my spoon. Ooh, oh my gosh. Love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Looking good. Okay. Final instructions. Top with remaining sauce, Parmesan cheese, remaining mozzarella, and then we get to do the bake. Woohoo! We're getting so close. So close. So, I want... Wait. So, I'm gonna get some mozzarella going. So, I'm gonna be a little bit lighter with this helping of mozzarella, just because I'm gonna be lighter with it, because we're adding other cheese to this, and this is basically gonna be the cheesy top. So I got a little bit of a clump of mozzarella, so we'll do that. And we're done with the mozzarella, so I can put my mozzarella back up. Yippee! Mozzarella's back up. Okay. Next up, Parmesan cheese. And very generous helping of Parmesan cheese. And then. Now, recipe doesn't call for this, but I have it. This is crumpled traditional feta cheese. This is actually leftover feta cheese, I think, from one of the last week's streams that I needed this for. So I am literally down to like the dredges of it. So I am going to kill this container feta cheese on this dish, just because, well, hey, I like cheese, and I like the idea of using up all my ingredients, because that is one downside to doing these style of streams, is sometimes I have to buy stuff and I end up with too many ingredients, and it makes it really hard for me to go through my ingredients. So now we get to play with, now we get to really play with fire. So what I'm going to do is come down in here. Oh yeah, that is smoking hot thing of coals. And I'm just going to lay a layer of coals right there, which that looks pretty good. I'm going to be kicking up an absolute atrocious amount of ashes, which actually we're going to be doing a slight experiment with the Dutch oven that I did last time. I'm going to make something of an attempt to monitor it. I'm not sure how successful I'll be, but I at least want to try. Give it the good old Yamagawa try. Okay, that's another good shovel full of coals. Let's see. You guys can't see it right now because reasons, but let's see here. Take this. Need to a little bit better cable routing. Oh my goodness, this is heavy. There. Whoa. Wow. Smoke. So much smoke. Okay. So we got coals on the bottom of the Dutch oven. Now I gotta go for the top ones. So this piece here has, so this is one of my pieces of oak from earlier, small piece of oak. I'm gonna gather up a nice handful of good shovel full of coals. Ah, I missed. Well, we'll just turn that into side coals. What we're gonna do with that. Okay. And then and for now, I'm gonna call that done. But I gotta do a thing. Right quick. I gotta get my cooler covered again. So I'm just gonna do that for now for the coals. Considering I consider my oak to be some of my more premium coals, I'm gonna try and get these where I want them, like off to the side, someplace reasonably available. There we go. So I got a nice little pile of coals there. And so since I've got a pile of coals there, I'm gonna go ahead and throw some wood on this fire. My fire's kind of burning down. Can't really call the campfire cooking stream if I don't have a campfire, you know? So that's one piece there. Let's see, I'm gonna go for... Thank you for smoke. Thank you for smoke. Okay. So, not sure if I can get this at the... Ooh. Let's see here. What's a good... That's a good angle for you guys. Oh yeah, that's reasonable. Okay, so we're at 102 degrees Fahrenheit. I've got it in Fahrenheit. We're just gonna let it warm up. Oh, this is actually slightly more important. Slightly more important is getting a timer going. This needs to cook for 35 minutes. And it's 35 minutes with a preheated oven. I have an unpreheated oven. So for now, I'm just gonna let that do its thing there. And we just get to chill while the Dutch oven does its work. That is where we're at, which is great, because this means the hard part for me is reasonably done. Well, like preparing and all that such. So I get to sit back and chill. I'm also gonna have some water. And at some point I'm probably gonna take a bathroom break and 5, 10, well, some arbitrary number of units of time. But I gotta say, doing pretty good. So the GoPro advertises, like if I was just in like straight battery mode, it says I should have like 5 hours. Well, I've got 61% right now, but that's still fine because we're still like pretty much like the better part through stream right now. So, really excited about that. And so, during my mac and cheese episode, this took quite a bit of time to heat up, and I overheated it. So for today, I'm taking it easy. I'm going to be taking it really easy. Like, I'm probably not going to check the Dutch oven until it's like... probably at least 20 minutes into the cook. Because the thing is with when you cook with a Dutch oven, is if you open up the lid, you let all the heat out. All the heat that you put a whole bunch of work into getting into that air in that cast iron, because right now my cast iron is starting off from essentially room temperatures. I have preheated it in the fire pit before, but with how pots and pansy today was, I just didn't have enough. I did not have enough space. That's admittedly like one of the hardest things about doing these campfire cooking streams is just having room. Because you gotta have streaming equipment, you gotta have your ingredients, you just gotta have so many things, and it's just a lot of work. Well, it's a lot of stuff. Like, I've got to have firewood nearby to throw at my fire, all stuff like that. So it can be a lot of work at times, but it's a lot of fun. Let's see, we're up to 137 in the Dutch oven. So we're doing pretty good there. And also we're an hour into stream, and I'm thinking I am honestly really feeling my bladder right now. So if you give me a moment, I'm gonna hit the little homesteader's room. I also need to grab a few pieces of servingware to get my delicious casserole out of my oven. So I'm gonna throw the BRB screen on, and we'll be back after a few. And I'm back. And as you can see, servingware. Mostly interested in this guy. And that one's going to be the most valuable. And we're going to essentially pocket the other one. Now let me check my timer right quick here. And my time... Okay, so... yeah, it's been roughly 10 minutes since we started. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to rotate the Dutch oven. So, excuse me, I'm going to be standing up for this because this is really out for my reach zone. Oh wait, this is going to be a nightmare to rotate because of the thing, because of my temperature probe. So I'm going to rotate a little bit one way, and then I rotate it, the lid a little bit in the opposite direction. So I turned the Dutch oven counterclockwise a little bit, and then I turned my lid clockwise, which I literally just did that just now, and holy smokes, look at that temp. We are at 302. And that's just letting it sit with the coals. So for now, we're just gonna let that do its thing. So yeah. But that's a real important thing when you're cooking with a Dutch oven, is you gotta spin it. And you actually have to spin both the oven, the main body of the oven, and the lid. And you gotta spin them in opposite directions. Now the reason for that is coal heat's very uneven. So even though cast iron is very thick and holds heat very well, like great stuff, really great stuff to cook with. But you gotta turn it because some areas will be hot. Because as you can see, we have, well, here, I need a poking device. As you can see, we got this like big thing of coal here. We have lots of small coals here, and we have all these gaps in between everything. So when you take, so those areas under those coals, they're gonna be a lot hotter. Which right now I see a lot of glowing going on there. So there's gonna be a lot of heat there. So you really gotta like turn this about like every 10-ish minutes. It's not rocket science, it's cooking. Which is the fun thing about cooking, because cooking's like kind of science, but it's also not science. Like cooking is definitely like a little bit more art than actual science. Granted, you could also just definitely totally like science to all hell and back. But it just depends on how comfortable you wish to be with what you're like doing, what you're making, you know? You can't just go crazy ham, or because sometimes, because a lot of like in how I treat stuff, sometimes I really feel like if I try to treat stuff like a really hard science, I end up doing too much research and not enough actually starting the project. That is huge weakness to myself as a person, and also 320. So we're not exactly where we're not at our magic 350, but we're 30 degrees off. I'm not gonna sweat it, because 30 degrees low just is gonna be like slightly longer cook time. Not a problem. So doing real good there. But going back to the earlier discussion, when I try to embark on a new project or a new thing, I am very much research the hell out of it. Try to get as much information as I can out of it. And I do that so that way I can have as much knowledge as I can. And the issue with that sometimes is I spend more time researching and less time doing. And doing is the fun part. I think so. So sometimes you just gotta be like, okay, I know enough to take a crack at this. Let's go take a crack at it and have some fun. It's also kind of one of the so the expression "perfect is the enemy of great" it also plays into that. Trying to pursue perfection relentlessly will if you pursue perfection relentlessly, you'll never really get started in the get-go, because you're just too busy chasing something that's really hard to achieve. So, sometimes you just gotta like try it, have some fun, and see what you can do. So, I mean, hey, we're at nearly 325 degrees Fahrenheit in the Dutch oven, so I'm gonna have a good casserole. I'm gonna have a really good casserole here in like 20 some odd minutes. It's gonna take a while, but that's fine. That's fine. I can wait. I've got a lovely fire going. Air actually feels like it's cooling down nicely. The sun's starting to go down. Curious. Thank you, timer, for your service, but I wish to consult with... okay. So it's actually 69 degrees outside. Funny number. But Ah. But yeah. And this is also one of the fun things of this more style of stream is, well, this style of cooking is like the baking style. There's waiting. And admittedly, I'm not the best yapper, so bear with me as I attempt to do my best yapping as I let a whole bunch of coals do some cooking for me. Which I'm trying to... Oh yeah, we're in September now! Yeah, because it wasn't September when I last streamed, but it's September now. So... Actually, wait a second. Am I correct on that? Because it was Sunday... Was Sunday... Was Sunday the 1st? No! Sunday was the end of August. Okay. Yeah, so this is actually officially the first stream of September. And... Now, a lot of people may not understand, like, the quote-unquote, like, significance of September. Well, September is a lot of things. First and foremost, the beer event of the year that is most important and near and dear to my heart, Oktoberfest, actually gets started in September. So that's very important. So Oktoberfest is coming up. Very excited about that. Second of all, I'm about a week away from the beginning of chestnut season where I live, which I actually think, now that I'm thinking about that, I'm actually going to be volunteering in a park this upcoming Saturday, and said park also has some chestnut trees, so I'm going to check out those chestnut trees and see if I can't get some chestnuts, and if I can, we're definitely going to be doing some chestnut roasting. Also, persimmon season is coming up as well, so like the various seasonal goodies of eastern woodlands of North America, this is like the time of year when those things start to come into season. Like pawpaws are going to start coming in season here soon. And I love me a good pawpaw. So lots of great seasonal delicacies. Also, another thing I wish to try on the channel, well, just not only a try for the channel, but also something for me personally, which I think we went up the 325 and actually dropped. So I think that's like stable-ish. So very good. Stable temperature's good. But okay. But I want to try making cider on the channel. So I did a little bit of research into it, and I found some varieties of apples that are good for making cider. So that was like the first thing. And then I had to I had to get like a list of apple varieties. And then I had to see what would be available. And there is an apple orchard that I'm interested in visiting. And they actually do have 2 of the varieties of apples I'm looking for. So what I think for the cider, what I'll do is I'll do a 50-50 mix. I'll do 50 of one variety, which is called wine sap, and then the other 50% I think is black Arkansas. Don't know anything about these apple varieties, but hey, I don't know much about making cider other than the fact that cider making is actually very easy if you're already working with juice. Which the challenging thing for that stream is I do plan on processing the apples live. And I need to process around 11 to 15 pounds of apples should get me 1 gallon of juice. I want to make a 5-gallon batch of cider. So yeah, it's going to be fun. But I also think this place where I want to get these apples from, I think they also sell like local wild honey, which I do want to try my hand at mead. I actually had a customer tip me in a bottle of mead like a month ago or so, something like that, and So I have a bottle of mead in my fridge, which I will be cracking over. Which I'll definitely be having that during one of these streams, which I'm looking forward to that. Because I've never really had like proper mead before, so that's going to be a new experience for me. So we have had a little bit of time. It is what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and do a turn on that. And I was trying to turn it to get it a little bit closer to me. So give me a moment. I gotta stand up. And ah. That was the downside to using this technology. It helps me monitor the temperature. Downside is it's restricting with my ability to showcase, which let's see. Can I? There we go. Oh, hey now. Oh, Nelly. You were reasonably okay at one point in time, and I don't think I have like the best prop. I don't have the best things to prop this up with. At least for, I do want you guys to like kind of see it in real time. I think it's more fun that way. But this does not want to lean towards you guys. Which, oh wait, I think that's better. Yeah, but I needed to get like that's for carrot. Wait a second. Wait a second. I got an idea. Hold, please, and thank yous. Oh no, that's too much. The jar of pasta is too tall. Wait a second. I have something that is old, not necessarily going to be using much for anything, and it's covered. How did I get? Oh, that's how I got that. Okay. Well, that exploded. No, don't get sour cream all over my. Oh, wait a second. There's also this. There's also this. This might be better. I was thinking about using the sour cream container, but the sour cream container is also covered in sour cream, so I don't want to use it. But you know what? That's reasonable. You can see that we're just under 300, which is that's fine. That's fine. Which actually, I don't know. I've got a pretty thin amount of coals on top. I'm gonna just add coal to the top. And break it up so I can spread the love. And let's see, can I get another smaller? I don't need a big thing. I need a. That looks like a biggish thing, but that's also from the that's also from the soft maple wood. So it's a little bit. It's not going to be as. It's not going to provide as much like fuel heat as the oak coals, which fire's fine. Might play with it a little bit. Might bring this a little bit more in, so that way it's a little bit closer to that guy. You know, they can kind of build off each other's energy. Maybe get some synergy going there. All that fun stuff. Okay. So, also, another one of the reasons I bought this particular thing, this streaming camera, is to actually use it in the manner that it was originally intended to be used. And what I mean by that is GoPros are meant to like take footage. Something I would like to do, haven't done it yet, is I want to take, sorry, I just thought I saw a bird or something on some goldenrod. Is I basically want to take a hike with this camera, and I want to like shoot the hike, you know? And then while I do the hike, I'm gonna like point out stuff, and I'm gonna try to keep my personal voice out of it as much as I can. But I'm gonna basically record video of me doing a hike, and then I'm gonna stream the video, and basically I'm gonna react to it. I'm gonna like point out like different trees. We're gonna talk about like different tree species, and also like, yeah, that's all you gotta do. Get your logs nice and parallel, and get a real nice, get them to really do some like really good synergy for you. You can get real nice uptick in fire, which I'm sure uptick on fire there will actually probably, because I'm sure there's some level of heat getting over that way. Probably not like a whole lot, but it helps. Every little bit helps. So I am really, really looking forward to doing that style of stream, because I absolutely would love to actually do some good, proper, like nature interpretation. Like talking about IDing trees, talking about different types of like habitat, talking about edible plants, because I'm sure you people know I like my edible plants and I want to talk about it. So that's one of my goals later. I'm hoping I get some time to actually do a nice proper fall hike, shoot that, and then I can do a stream about it. So, and that's kind of where I really expect this camera to really shine for me, is not only having a tool I can use now for stuff I'm already doing, but also use it as a tool for stuff I'm eventually gonna do, is the gameplay. But life's a journey, and I got a long way to go. But I'm pretty happy with where I'm at right now, though. And with that, tonight, well, kind of can't see the bottom of it. There you go. But yeah, tea's done. So I'm going to be taking my tea bag and yeet. And I think I missed my pots that time. Second time I yeeted the tea bag, it went where I wanted it to, but that one didn't. But yeah, so hopefully eventually I'll get to do some like nature interpretation. So that's I think that's something I would really enjoy doing, and I'm not sure if that's something people are interested in. But hey, I do what I do because I'd like to see a VTuber do that. So, like, hey, I'm doing this because I want to see VTubers cook over an actual fire. I see so many people just like having like the fireside, like animated backgrounds, and I have seen some people do like some reading and some like other real neat forms of content that I'm like, that's cool. Not sure if it's for me though, but it's nice to see variety, especially like where sorry, but fire snapped and sent a piece of like small coal onto the keyboard, but the keyboard's protected by a silicone mat because of cornucopious amounts of wood that's... Oh. Okay. GoPro beeped at me, but it still works. I guess it's because it's basically about halfway through the battery life, so I guess that's... I'm presuming that's a battery life warning, but... yeah, there's a fair bit of radiant heat there. Yeah, that is a fair bit of radiant heat. Okay. So, last thing I... Ooh, I don't want to do that, because if I do that, I will... Okay. Well, let's see here. Sorry, I'm going to get a little close and personal. Just trying to feel, like, the amount of heat the GoPro's getting. I mean, air temperatures are going down, sun's going down, but it's been running for an hour and a half. Okay, you beeped at me again, but you're not giving me any warnings. You're not saying, hey, I'm about to overheat or something. You're just beeping at me. I mean, it's warm. Excuse me. Feels fun. Oh, I lost my temperature here. Also, been doing a little bit of yapping. Oh, do I gotta turn this off and on again? Off. On. Also, you beep too. You beep when you turn off. I wonder if one of those beepings were you. Ooh, okay. So, we've done pretty good so far. Definitely need to stir this, so... What I'm going to do now is give that a turn counterclockwise. Yeah, counterclockwise. So I want to go clockwise with my... with the actual Dutch oven. Hey now. There we go. That's a really good stir. Whew. Holy smokes. Would you look at that, chat? That's nearly our 350 right there. So yeah, just those little extra bits of coals, but we're getting real close to the end. So I'm going to kind of yeet that one off. So we're just like right where we want to be. And we're almost done. But we're almost done. But yeah, sorry, I'm going to grab a screenshot right quick. Because that's called nailing it. That's called really nailing it, which I am curious. Okay, yeah, so I've had Dutch oven cooking for at least a half hour, over a half hour actually, so kind of cute. That's the problem with this thing. Ooh, look at that, it looks so good. But it looks good and most importantly smells happy. It smells really happy. And then I like how I cracked open the lid, it dropped, and then now it's coming back up again. So yeah, I think I'm gonna have cooked food and I'm gonna actually sort of redeem myself with the Dutch oven. Considering the fact the last meal I cooked in it, I got a little too panicked because of numbers I saw here, and I way overcooked my food. And I'd like to avoid that tonight, so. Actually, speaking of avoiding, can I get you guys to go a little bit more this way? Get you a little bit more centered? I don't think I need any more coals. Like, I'm done. I'm good. Just got a whiff of some incredible Italian food. I love incredible Italian food. I gotta say, I'm a big fan of Italian, but also, like, Italian also makes you fat. I don't like that. It's like, why does such good food have to be fattening? Okay, so now last time I checked, okay, so according to the timer on my phone, we've only got a couple seconds left, and let's see here, what do I want to do? So I was pretty happy with it. We've been a bit on the cooler side with it, so let's see here. We're gonna give it a little bit of extra time, just a little bit, and then I think what I'll do is I'll actually I'll properly remove it from the coals and all that. Mostly because I don't want to, like, I'm far more concerned with overcooked versus undercooked, and I mean, hey, we've been maintaining pretty reasonably good temperatures, so I mean, earlier when it jumped up, we got up to like actual proper 350, so there could be some uneven heating, so some parts could be 313 as the meter's telling me right now, other parts could be closer to the 350, so I'm just gonna leave it. We're gonna leave it, we're gonna let it cook, and then I'm gonna take the lid off. I'm gonna bring it a little bit closer to me, which, I like how when I bend down to like get to my bit of an area I have here. Oh, that's my timer. Okay. So, for that, can I still access that? Yeah, I got a little paranoid because it's a little far away from me. Oh wow, and I just bumped it and the heat just shot up to 328, so I'd say we're really close to this. Okay. Yeah. That looks... that looks amazing. You guys can't smell that amazingness, but I can. Which, I don't like how that was on there. Oh, look at that. And the cheese has a nice golden brown to it as well. Oh man. This is good stuff. This is some good Italian, man. Okay, so I need to have a little bit of room here. I think I'm actually surprised how watery it is, though. I'm trying to think where the water... I wonder if the water cooked out of the sour cream, maybe? Because I wasn't expecting it to be, like, watery like that. So I'm going to let that kind of cook on the bottom coals. Kind of just, like, bring that wateriness down a little bit. Which, I mean, hey, like, honestly, you know what that wateriness means? No burnt parts, so I'm excited about that. Yeah, I think I'll use that plate. I'll use that plate. That plate's more accessible. So man. Okay. Weird. I have had a couple of tech issues on some of my more recent stuff, and I'm really paranoid about tech issues right now because of it. But you know what? I've got food. I got food, and I think it's time to do a plate up. So let's see here. I want to get a whole quarter of this thing. I want to start with a quarter. Wow, that heat from that fire is unreal. So. Ugh. There we go. But yeah, that looks good. Yeah, we got like a little bit of a burnt thing there, but like it's just like a little bit of it. That's fine. It's like that little bit of like burnt rice you get in the rice cooker. Okay. So unfortunately that is horrendously far too large. Let me get a fork here, and I will go ahead and just untestedly throw a bit of black pepper at it. And there we go. So that is an Italian casserole cooked in a Dutch oven. And I think I'm gonna I think I should be safe and let that sit for a minute before I stick it in my mouth, because chances are it's gonna burn my mouth. That's my expectation. That's my expectation. That's what I'm definitely worried about that. So I'm just gonna let it chill. Let it chill. Let it rest for a bit, and then we'll take bites. Now, haven't really thrown much additional salt at. Actually, you know what? Hey, let's create a little bit more like ambience. I need to switch these. The pepper shaker is flammable. This shaker is not flammable. That's flammable. There's flame there. And I gotta keep the flammable things a bit more further away from the flame. And nearly 2 hours of stream, and the GoPro battery life is held up. Just went down a little. It went down quite a bit. But let's see. Ooh. Okay, so I put my hand at the bottom of the plate, and this is piping. This is piping hot, but I'm hungry. I'm really hungry. Ah! I dropped it. That's what I get for overreaching. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't overreach, buddy. Oh man, it smells amazing. Oh, yes, sweet victory. Sweet victory. Oh my gosh. Oh man. What an incredible combination, Jesus. Okay. So, my clip-on mic, I think the battery just died. So, we'll just get my atmosphere mic going up just for the last little bit of the stream, but I don't know how long it was out for, but I gotta say, like, this has been, like, super solid, super successful stream. I'm very happy. Actually, wait a second. Oh, there you are. Woo! Oh, wow. Oh, that brightened up things nicely. So, that's actually my, that's my ring light for the iPhone. Which, this actually should be some pretty good lighting for the sweet pasta. Plate's still nuclear hot, but you can see we got some real nice stringiness to the cheese. Oh, wow. So that's actually got some of my crusty bits, but that's like good crusty bits, you know? Where they're kind of like chewy, but not like crunchy. Ah, my goodness. Really happy with today's dish. Absolutely. I am. Which actually, I don't really think I have much of a need to add salt, because cheese actually has a fair bit of salt in it. So, not really worried about that at all. My gosh, this is great. This is some really good food. So, I made some really good food today. Tested out some new technology, and so far so good. Pretty happy with it. Kind of wish the battery didn't die as much on it, but whatever. As long as it reasonably holds up a year from now. But I actually did get 2 batteries with it, so that should help maintain good battery life for it. Well, if one battery starts to crap out, I have a substitute. So yeah. So I have some delicious food that I'll like to dig into. So let me go ahead and close out stream for today. So thank you very much to everyone who tuned in. We made Italian casserole in a Dutch oven, and I gotta say, turned out really well. Last time I did a pasta in a Dutch oven, I absolutely nuked it with heat. That's all on me. Huge mistake on my part. 100% did not make the same mistake again. Very thankful for that. So, and with all that, I'd like to wish everyone out there, may you have... Oh, hey, Denzel Chop, how are you doing? Are you having a good day? I hope you're doing all right. Funny enough, I was actually going to be doing my closing remarks, but yeah. I gotta say, like, didn't really get, like, too Italian-y with the seasonings or anything, but I gotta say, yep, I hope stream went good. Oh, yeah, stream went really good. I was actually remarking thanks for the stream, looks great, yeah. I was actually remarking that I was really proud to not burn a pasta dish because the last pasta I did, the mac and cheese in the Dutch oven, I actually burned that kind of bad. But this is really good, so. But yeah, I hope you're having a good evening, Dad's Old Shop. And with all of this, I'm going to go ahead and say, hope everyone out there is having a great, may you all have a great rest of your day, night, evening, whatever it is, wherever you're at. And hopefully I'll see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.